What's up, party people? I realize I've been saying that a lot, and some other people are stealing it. Whoever you are stealing that, it's okay. You can take it. I probably stole it from someone else. It's okay. What's up, everyone? Hope you're having an awesome Friday. As I'm recording this, it's January 25th, 1:54 in the afternoon on the east coast of the United States of America. So, you might have noticed that I haven't done a lot of solo episodes recently, and actually I haven't really released a lot of episodes in general. I think this is only my second or third episode of 2019, and that is no mistake. I'm constantly testing what works and what doesn't. So throughout the last, 3+ years that I've had this show, I've been testing the frequency. I've been testing release times of the day, the style of show that I do, solo or with a guest, and a bunch of other stuff as well. And so what I think is insanely critical is that you are constantly figuring out what works and what doesn't. Who is engaging and who isn't. Because if you don't have data points, it's very difficult for you to learn. I did a talk this morning with a great group that I'm a part of, BizConnect, and one of the questions that was asked of me by the founder of the group, Laura Henderson, was, how do you tell someone that they're an anomaly if it's an anomaly in a bad way? And I said, look, something that I learned before from Gary Plague, who has been on the show before, one of the first 100, I believe, also is mentioned in the book. He said something along the lines of, if you are going to if you're going to provide someone feedback, what you should do is ask them first if they want feedback, right? And so that's what I told Laura and this whole group. I said, hey, sometimes you got to tell people this, and so even if it's bad news, right? And so I believe oftentimes people are too afraid to provide someone the bad news, or maybe not as positive of an positive of an outcome, because they're worried that they're going to hurt that person's feeling. Look, I hear a lot of crap all the time. I am bombarded with things that to a lot of people would probably be negative. But the way I look at it is, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger, right? And so if someone says something and I consume everything. I consume what they're saying, but then I dissect it, figure out what they're really telling me, and sometimes I need to hear it. Like, I'm editing the book, or I'm doing the audible for the book right now. And as I'm doing the reading of the book, I've found a couple mistakes. Guess what? It's okay, right? What am I going to do? I'm going to fix them, and then in a future edition, I'm going to get them fixed, right? It happens. But all too often, we're too afraid to tell someone, hey, something's the matter. You need to fix this. Or at least give them that feedback. And so testing is the same way, right? I am constantly testing. So I've been wondering, what would happen if I don't do this show? Would my downloads continue? Would my listens still continue? Would people be asking me, where is the show? All of the above have happened, some higher than others. The downloads is the thing that's the most interesting thing to me, is that actually went up a lot higher than I thought. And so, investigating and trying to figure out why that happened. So, you stop something and it goes up. It's very interesting. Another example is for the last 4 or 5 years, I've hosted in my town where I run my business a event, and it's around right now. And so I was like, I wonder what would happen if I don't do that event when I did it this year. What would happen, right? And so people are starting to ask about, where is this, right? I guess they're getting reminders on Facebook through Facebook Memories and a series of other things. So where is this event? We've come to this thing every year. Where is it? It's supposed to be happening, right? And so all of these things are intentional. All of these things are well, why would you do that? Well, supply and demand, the tease effect, just the way that the Zack Miller method, it's the way that I do things, right? I like to keep people on their feet, keep people on their toes, wondering and wanting more, so that when I do release it, they're like, whoa, I've been wanting that. No, sometimes I do just retire things too, right? I used to do an event called Start Norfolk. Did it 5 times. Was great. Haven't done it in like 4 or 5 years. Have a lot of people asked about it? Sure. Over the years, a lot of people have asked about it. But as of right now, it's going to be retired and stay retired. This other event, it's interesting seeing people have feedback for it. Where is it? Why isn't it here? These are all data points. What you do with it is very important, right? So I'm sitting here going, okay, what am I going to do? I got to figure that out. I have to figure out how I take this thing that I told people when to expect it, not deliver it, and then get them now to come at a different time. And so it's exciting to see stuff like that. It's exciting to get feedback and data points around stuff like that, because a lot of times people don't know what to do with data. And I'm constantly looking. I'm constantly trying to figure out what something is saying. Right? Running tests everywhere. Running tests with just copy. So like a campaign. So like I am doing... So I basically... A couple of other things, right? On Twitter, I completely unfollowed everyone. Interested just to see what would happen, right? The reason I started is about a month ago, I had unfollowed the overwhelming majority of people that I'd followed. I kept maybe 20 people. What I recognized was that through their algorithm, one of the reasons why I stopped using Twitter was because of all the negativity of things that I didn't want to see anyway. People that I was still associated with, I was still seeing other people's posts because it says this person is following this person, so you might want to see this tweet. Well, that's why I unfollowed those people. That's why so I didn't want to see it anymore. So I decided I'm just going to stop that. So basically what it seems like is with Twitter, I'm not going to go back to followers at this point. It's been interesting. It's not using it. Facebook, I basically only use for this stuff. I don't actually do stuff on my actual profile and haven't in a very, very long time. I unfollowed everyone on social media, Twitter. I don't follow anyone on Twitter anymore. And on Facebook, I just do stuff here. I don't do stuff on my network profile. On LinkedIn, what's interesting is I am testing out different techniques as well. Again, these are all data points. These are all points to figure out what is working and what doesn't. It isn't, right? Dissecting someone else's page. Okay, why did it work like this for them and something like this not work for me? Using pictures, using copy, using spacing, doing this, saying provocative things, whatever it might be. Right? For example, how I did a post on LinkedIn yesterday basically saying, does using the word F apostrophe or asterisk CK in a book title get people to stop and buy your book? Right? Because it's never actually FUCK, it's F*CK. Seeing if that is interesting. All these things are testing, figuring out what's going to work, what's not. Here, what have I not been doing? I have not been releasing new episodes of the show. Why? Testing to see what kind of data points I receive. You should do this in your life too. With your friends, with your relationships, with your family. Engage a little less, see what happens. Engage a little more, see what happens. It's all test. It's all test. So, am I back to doing more podcasts? Yes, of course, right? Because I also missed it. I got a lot of things I want to talk about, and I haven't been able to say it. You can also spell my name Z*CK, right? But look, the point is this. Don't just always do the exact same thing. Test different methods out. See if you can spice things up and get things better. See if you can get better results. If they tweak and it doesn't work, guess what? Go back to the old thing. Right? If your frequency once was very high and now you change something, you change something, go back to the old one. Or maybe the new one works better. Constantly be testing to see what kind of new results you can get. At the end of the day, the more data points you have, the more decisions you can make from it. So, test away. Peace.
You're listening to Zack Miller Says.